Now on the APEC VIP hotline, cutting-edge training for the serious athlete, apecgo.com. Joining us right now, the head football coach of the Lindale Eagles, Mike Meador. Coach, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing fine. Thanks very much for coming on with us. I hate to talk to you at a time like this because I know it's been a rough month, but 4 straight losses, all of them look like they could have been winnable ball games. But talk a little bit about what's going on right now with the Lindale Eagles.
Well, Bryan, really right now we're struggling. We've got a lot of injuries, probably the most in my career. I had a year in 2004 where we lost a lot of guys, but it compares nothing to this year. I mean, literally, there are about 12 starters that have been hurt at some point throughout this last 4 games. We've been in every ball game. Probably the last 3 ball games had the lead in the third and fourth quarter, and couldn't hold on to it because of mistakes usually really that we made more than the other team just dominating or anything. So, we're sitting here at 1-4, but I really have told the guys we easily could be 4-1 right now and feeling really good about what we're doing. And so, we get to start fresh with this new with the district starting right now, and really when you go into district, you're all 0-0. So, that's a refreshing thing for us. Plus, we had an open week last week, so I got a couple kids back that I needed back.
Well, I was going to ask, it sounds like, based on the injury situation, you couldn't have had an open date at a better time than you've got it right now.
Well, actually, I could have had I needed about 2 or 3 weeks of open week, but it did come at a good time, and the fact that we get an open week before district, there's a lot of schools that are in a bigger district that don't get that opportunity sometimes. So it did come at a good time. We're getting a couple kids back, and that's going to help us a lot, but I've really never seen a situation like we've had this year. It's just been crazy. But our younger kids, and the backups have stepped up and done some good things. We're just a little bit short of being where we need to be, and I think over these last 2 weeks we're preparing, and hopefully we're going to do a better job. Now,
when you lose to Pine Tree 28-21 going into that open day, talk about what you've got to do to rebuild that team's confidence over the course of the past 2 weeks getting ready for White House.
Well, the biggest thing was we had to show them, hey, it wasn't that Pine Tree was a better football team. We just made too many mistakes. Honestly, we were ahead 14-0, and then we give them, from the offensive standpoint, we gave them 7 points, and so made it 14-7, gave them a little momentum. We actually go ahead 21-7, so we have the lead, and I'm talking in the second half, and we just lost some momentum. We had an opportunity to jump ahead of them, and just fell short. Had some drops, had some missed coverages, and just different things that. If we don't do those, we win the ball game. And the week before that, we played Hallsville, and same situation. I mean, we have the game. We're ahead 28-17, have a chance to go ahead, and we fumble a ball that we should have scored on, and they end up turning around, coming back, and beating us 31-28. And so it was just two very tough losses that we could easily. I think we could have easily won.
And then you deal with the perfect storm, because not only are you dealing with all these injuries, but you're playing teams like Carthage, Van, and Hallsville back to back to back. And that's a grind on a healthy team. You put a very beat-up team up against that, and that just made it even worse, I guess.
It did. But one of the things that I wanted to do, we knew coming in that we were playing Chapel Hill and Carthage and Van and Hallsville, and they're good football teams. We wanted to play good teams to prepare us, because we got a tough schedule ahead of us with district. Mm-hmm. We're playing White House and John Tyler and Corsicana, and those don't get any easier. So we wanted to play teams that are quality football teams, and that's what we did. And again, we stayed in the ball game with each one of them. So our kids know that we're close. We're right there on the cuff of being a good football team. We got to get some breaks, and hopefully those breaks. And I don't mean to say that. We had too many breaks already. So we need some good things to happen to us.
So you literally breaks, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've had too many breaks already. Wow. We need some good positive things to happen to us right now.
So, compared to what you started out with, where would you say your team is now? I mean, where are your strengths and weaknesses now compared to what you started out with, what you thought you'd be at if you had everybody healthy going into this ball game with White House?
That's a good question. I mean, honestly, we've got some backups that are now a little more comfortable with their role, and so that's a plus. And then I got a couple kids back that are going to help us, and so they're going to step in and be able to do that. But now I've got backups behind them that are going to be able to help us. We just have had to learn. I mean, honestly, I've got a lot of young kids, juniors and sophomores, that are playing, that are having to step up and play significant roles for us. And so they're learning, and it's a learning process. And hopefully through these first 5 games, we've learned a lot, and now we can step in the district and compete for a district championship, for a playoff spot, for the respect that I think we deserve.
And the best thing about an open date and then starting district play is everybody's 0-0 now, and I know that's always a coach's favorite point. If you've had a rough start, to be able to come in and say, all right, it's a clean slate now, we're starting over. You play White House on Friday night. What do you think of them?
I think they're an excellent football team. They're very talented. They've got great momentum going right now, and I really do. I think they've got some incredible athletes. But I also tell my guys all the time, 3 of the top 5 teams in the nation in college football this week fell. Mm-hmm. Every week there's a major upset in football, whether it's high school, college, or NFL. And so, you play the game. You don't just say, hey, this team's got more athletes, or they're 5-0, we're 1-4. You don't just go out there and say, okay, well, the game's over. You got to play the game. And so what I've told our kids, we've got to go out and we've got to play a game like we're capable of playing, and you never know what can happen.
Okay, so what do you think the keys are to beating a team like White House with your football team right now?
I think just slow them down. I think, again, they've got so many talents, Mahomes and Cheatham, and they've got some stud receivers that are very talented. We just got to slow them down, hopefully get some turnovers, and then maintain the football and not turn it over to them, because they're a team that will exploit. If we give them the ball on turnovers, they'll exploit you, and they'll be able to score a lot of points.
Well, Coach, we do appreciate you coming on with us. We hope everybody gets healthy at some point before this season's over and you're able to make a run for the playoffs, maybe even a district championship. Certainly, like I said, when it's 0-0, anything can happen.
Absolutely.
All right,
absolutely. That's what I believe.
Coach, thanks a lot for talking with us. We're looking forward to doing the ball game on Friday night and looking forward to seeing your football team play. And thanks again for coming on with us.
Thanks, Bryan.
Yes, sir. Okay. Coach Mike Meador from the Lindale Eagles on Bryan Houston Sports Radio Live on 99.3 Talk FM.